We are here in St Cuthbert's, Halsall, it's the northwest of Liverpool. I'm sat with Susan, who's got a dog collar on, so she must know what's going on here today. So, Susan, how long have you been working at this church? What's your role here?
So I'm the rector here at St Cuthbert's in Halsall. I've been here for just over 2 years. I like the fact you think that I know what's going on. I'm just here. I'm here, in a sense, walking alongside God, and it's God that's doing things, and I'm just here, if you like, to try and discern where that is and join in. But we're here today because we're throwing open the doors, literally, of our beautiful medieval church to welcome our community in, to just say we are here, and we're not church and community, but we are church with the community. We are community, and we want to be with you, walking alongside you, serving you. Come and tell us. Come and tell us what you'd like. Come and tell us what you love about us. Come and tell us what you don't like about us, so that we can grow together, grow community, grow in faith, and grow God's kingdom here in this small, beautiful village in the northwest of England.
Now, for those listening around the world, just explain rector, because I hear rector and I think, well, sort of a vicar, but not. Otherwise, you'd have said vicar. So what does a rector do that's different from a vicar?
Absolutely nothing. Oh. It's an ancient title. So in the old days, long before the Reformation and things like that, churches had, you paid for your clergy, and a rector had sufficient income from the gleblands and the tithes that were paid from the surrounding farms that they could employ a vicar. So vicars, in a sense, were kind of subcontractors of the rector who had enough income to, if they didn't fancy being the rector, but they had the title, could actually get someone else to go and do the priestly job of that. So it's an ancient title, and that reflects the fact that this is a medieval church, and therefore in a long time ago, this was a very rich church that was surrounded by fields which paid tithes. There's a lot of glebland here, and so that title of rector is held fast. And in modern terms, if you hear the word rector, it reflects the fact that the parish probably was quite an ancient parish, and from a long time ago.
Fine. How old is this? Do you know when this church was founded?
So there's been a church on the site since 1190. But the current structure, the current church, was completed in 1470 and has basically remained almost unchanged since 1470. So we still have the original vestry door and an original entrance into the main part of the church as a 1470 door with a 1470 key. We don't use it anymore because it's a little bit inconvenient. It's absolutely massive. It's about a foot long. We are it's an amazing building. And it is an inspirational building because it's almost like the stones have absorbed the worship and the prayers and the joy and the sorrows of this community and beyond for all of that time.
So we're coming up to nearly 1,000 years of people from this area coming to worship here, which that's one of the things I love about old churches. Is it's unique to them. The modern churches, it's not about the old versus the new, it's about the fact that the old churches, 1,000 years of history of people worshipping, that one right in itself has always excited me. Do you know there are people worshipping God here?
Yes.
1,000 years ago. It's so amazing to think.
It is, and actually one of the things is when I have the privilege of leading worship here, and I stand at the altar, and sometimes I can just catch myself thinking I'm one of a huge succession of priests who have stood here and virtually done the same thing for 1,000 years. But we've done it in different generations, and yes, the styles have changed. But what we're doing, worshipping God, is absolutely the same. And what is amazing is you almost sense that the prayers and the songs are echoing around from every generation. And for me, that helps my faith because it reminds me that this is not something that's a whim of this generation, but it's actually something that is 2,000 years old and is built on such solid foundations. And, without those solid foundations, this place wouldn't be here. So for me, it's another way of affirming, that our faith is, a real lived faith that has endured and will continue to endure. And that, literally, as we say, it's Easter season, Christ is risen. He's risen indeed. You only have to look at this building to see that.
Community Dan is here. He's helping you to engage with your community in different ways, helping your community to engage with you in different ways. What have you found especially helpful, that having someone from the outside coming in and saying, have you thought about this? Where has he really helped you?
I think some of it is about having, first of all, giving you confidence. Because the first thing is, I arrived only just over 2 years ago, and you're getting to know it and getting to grips with a community that I've come from a different place. And people here have lived here, for generations, not just just for a few years. And sometimes you're perhaps too sensitive to that, and therefore having the confidence to dare to ask the questions, but also just say, do it. What's stopping you? And is that, Dan's really good at that, that question. So you fancy doing that? Well, get on with it then. So that's the first thing, is that giving you the confidence to have a go. I think the other thing is that outside eye that looks and can see things that you lose because you're right in the middle of it. So that ability to look at the bigger picture and say, so how do you do that? And I think the third thing is that actually it's very easy for us to take things for granted. We have a really fantastic relationship with our church school, which is the village school, and I think we've taken that a bit for granted. And actually, Dan coming and saying, "That's amazing! You have a key to the school." Yes, and to be reminded, actually, yeah, that's a real privilege, and that reflects something of the trust and mutual relationship that we have. And so having that reminder, and equally, it's very easy for us to take this church for granted, this building for granted, because we worship in it every week. And having someone coming in and literally going, wow, and then also going, wow, about our graveyard, which might be a bit odd, but we are blessed with a huge medieval graveyard, but with some beautiful natural spaces in it. And we have been working really hard to make those insect friendly and wildlife friendly, and to have someone coming from the outside and noticing what has happened and what we've done, and again saying wow, just it encourages. And so that community Dan's been really good at just saying, get on with it, you're doing an amazing job, but look what you've got and recognise what blessings you have.
I'm very conscious that we're in the middle of a weekend of activity. This is the middle day of 3, Friday, Saturday, Sunday day being obviously Saturday. So you haven't got to the end, therefore there's more to learn, more to experience, more to enjoy, more opportunities for people to engage. What are you really hoping for, I suppose, as a church congregation? What are you hoping for after this weekend that perhaps wouldn't have been there before?
I think the first thing is about reconnecting is probably the wrong word, but I think about a reminder that we are here together as community. And what's been fantastic is we've had every generation coming through the doors today, and that's been really encouraging. So we've had the little school kids, but we've also had grandmas and granddads, and we've had a couple of people come and say, I haven't been in this church for the last 40 years. I came here when I was at school, but I haven't come back. So some of it's about that reconnection, or just cementing those connections. I think for me it is also that reminder that it isn't them and us. And one of the hard things about this church, it is beautiful, but it is above the village. It's on a rock. There's a rock underneath this place, and so there's a sense sometimes that people think that the church is looking down, literally physically looking down on them, but also in the sense of people judging. And so it's also about saying this is an open church. We'll welcome all. Yeah, we have an Anglican tradition, but that should not preclude anybody from coming. And we operate as an inclusive, open to all church. And that's been great to actually show people and demonstrate that to them. And a couple of people have commented to me, because, we've got sweets, we've got food, we've got cake, very important cake. We're not asking for any money, we just want to give, we want to be hospitable. And I think reminding people that we are hospitable, we want to be here for you. And yes, ultimately, we want to grow. We want to grow as a community of faith, but we want people to know that they are loved, whether they come or they don't, and that we're here to serve them. And that, some of that will be about weddings and funerals and baptisms, but some of it is just about we're here and we will pray, and we do pray. We pray regularly for all parts of our community. We have a prayer diary, and we pray for every single street and farm, because we're quite rural, in our parish over a year, and just people knowing that we're doing that. And please come. But even if you don't come, that's fine. We're still holding you in prayer. We're still wanting to build that community.
Susan, thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here. I love an old church building. I always have done. It's a place of peace. It's often a place of cool, which is something I was reflecting on with Dan. It's quite hot outside.
Yeah.
I mean, hot spaces, they're quite expensive to put the heating on, but cool spaces are free to run. You just open the door, you've got really thick old stone. So it does make it naturally quite cool. So I'm quite happy just in an old church. I like the smells, I like the feel of the place. And I come back to this. I love the fact that people have been worshipping here in different contexts, possibly even different languages to some degree, for nearly 1,000 years. And it is a reminder that God is the same yesterday, today and forever, because that's just this place for 1,000 years, and it's nearly, and it is phenomenal. Susan, thank you.
Thank you.
The June issue of Pure Media, the magazine, comes out on Friday the 7th of June, with a whole host of international writers speaking on life, faith, sports, technology, joy and more from our family to yours. In the June edition, we shine the spotlight on Sherry Seligson, a marine biologist from Florida, and Chris Kerr, who helps us focus and celebrate on dads. Sign up today and enjoy all of this and more at www.puremediathemagazine.com.